Hi there. Okay, we spent an awful lot of the first part signing you up for yoga, which I greatly appreciate. So there's not a whole lot about that. But what we did start with was we started by setting you up a new little kind of an app or a plugin from the Google Chrome web store. So not that you really need to see this, but Chrome Web Store. Just to go over what this is all about. Well, you probably could have typed it right in. Anyway, this is where we were, and this is, I mean, everybody, if you use your phone, your iPhone, anywhere, everybody's got an app store. So this is Google Chrome's kind of app store, and what we did was we searched for email, I think notification, or something like that. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, I think this is the one we installed. So we added this to Chrome, and what happens when you do this is, see all these little guys up here? You don't have these, are mine. These are all different things kind of from this web store. There's your little programs that just make the functionality of your Chrome experience more useful for you. So these do all kinds of different things, and someday I'll show you. But anyhow, if you ever are bored and have nothing else to do and want to look around and see what else you can add fun to your stuff, you can click on the popular ones. You can, I guess, put in, I don't know why you would want to plug in, but whatever. And you know, trending, there's others. I mean, you can go through all these games if you like games, and find that kind of stuff, and an awful lot of them are free. Actually, I think most of them on Chrome are free. So anyhow, that was what we did there. Then we spent the larger part of our session going over the SEM email and how to work with that. So I talked about the fact that we're a Google Apps school, which means that if you were to look at your own personal Gmail account, I know you said you had one, it would look a little different than this. They set these up so that the schools make use of a lot of these things in a kind of a different way, and the Google Drive, which is the Google Docs stuff, is huge, and we have a little bit different functionality than the regular Gmail, but the account is pretty much the same. I know they're changing the interface of the mail. Soon you're going to have a tab. You're going to have like 3 tabs for your mail, and junk mail will go into 1 tab, and I don't forget what the other 2 are, but it's going to change, and anytime you have anything that's controlled by the cloud, it changes, and usually for the better, but it can be confusing. But anyway, as the Gmail account looks now, today, on July 20th, 2013, this is what the inbox looks like. We talked about how Gmail doesn't use folders, they use tagging, which is what an awful lot of the newer web solutions use. Flickr, well, Facebook, all of them, you know, and they tag you in a photo in Facebook. They can tag you, and they can tag your kids, and they can tag everybody else, and the photo is still where it is. It still lives in whatever that little digital address is that it has, but by choosing different tags, you can pull it up and see it depending on what the tags were. So let's see if I can explain that a little better. All the mail, all right, let's go over here. This is a list of my, well, they call them labels. Labels or tags, it's the same thing. I'm going to just kind of show you mine. I have a ton of them, and this, I talked about how this is an incredibly inefficient spot in Google Mail. So, and for me to see all my labels, I have to click on more labels, and here they are, and I even have to scroll up and down to see all my labels. These are all my labels. Some of them are nested. We talked about nested labels. So this is orientation from last year and this year. If I close that, it closes it, and you don't see the nesting. Some of these labels Google just puts in there for you, and you didn't put yourself. So you'll have a bunch of these that you didn't create, like circles. Google does that for that Google Plus thing. Obviously, inbox, sent mail, drafts, all mail. These are all default labels, but they are all labels. Really, all the mail that you get, all the mail that you get goes into this all mail. So if I click on all mail, not that it'll look that different, but you'll be able to see there are things in all mail that don't have this inbox label. what happens is that mail that comes in, automatically, any new mail gets an inbox label and automatically is in the label inbox. And that's your default view. Is really, it's just a label like anything else. And you can see that it's a label because this is where the labels show up. So if I scroll down further, these are other labels. Now you can color code your labels if you want to. I'll show you how to do that. But I code these because I'm working on this orientation stuff for all these kids, the summer online classes, and so it's emails from all different kids about all different topics. So I couldn't search efficiently and see them all and that's what usually you do with the labels. You create a label when it's groups of email that are not easily searched on. Like if I wanted to search on all the emails that you sent me, I wouldn't need a label for that because I could search that up here. So for instance, if I started to search BERB, your email address comes up. So if I click here, I'm seeing everything that either I sent you or you sent me. But that's not a label. That's just a search through all your all mail. But it is looking through this all mail section because it's not you know, looking at tags. But let's go back to this all mail. Wait, so you can see it better again. Come on. All right, so right now we're back in that all mail. So these are tags of things that are in my inbox. These are just shades, but you know, so these are all in inbox. All right, here's an email that I clearly took out of the inbox right away because I really didn't care, but I'm in the habit of not deleting. You could delete things. We talked about deleting. I don't delete anything, hardly. I mean, I delete total junk, but anyway, so the label, so you can have any email and you can have a number of labels on any email. Let's see if I have any that have more than one label. I probably don't have too many. I might have some that are in the inbox that would have inbox and another label on them. Let's see. Oh, I don't know now that I'm looking. Well, I know it's possible to have a bunch of labels on something. So the idea here now is you can then click on your label. So sent mail, I guess, is kind of a label. You click on sent mail and you can see everything that you sent. Although it doesn't show a label. So I don't know. Sent mail is just anything you sent. Drafts are things that I don't have any. If you start an email and you either click, as soon as you click away, if you start an email and you click away, even if you don't say you want to save it, it saves it in drafts. So you may end up having things in drafts that you don't need. Like if you just start an email and then click away, it'll go into drafts. Okay, go back to my more labels. See, this is really inconvenient. If I go back down here, this is a label of email that I have forwarded. Like we talked about this also, that you can have your other email actually forwarded to your SEM email account. So I choose to keep those as a separate label, and that way I can see anything that came in from my other account, this other account. If I click on that, these are all things that have to do with this violin school that I help do the books for. So I have my email from there. It gets sucked in to because I look at my SEM email account all the time. Is the only reason. But if I go to reply, I go back to the other email account for them. But you can also have filters, just so you know. For instance, if you let's just use this as an example. If I wanted all my email from this other account to come into my SEM email account, I could have it actually bypass the inbox. I can set a filter so that when it comes in, it automatically just goes to this label and they never see it in my inbox, so that when I want to see it, I can just click on this label. The teachers will do that sometimes with emails from their students. If they don't want it to glop up their inbox, they'll put it in like an assignment folder. So I don't know, does that help? I hope that explains the tags. Spam, I guess that's a tag too. But look at these, because you have a bunch of these and you can organize them in all kinds of ways, and you can certainly tag things with more than one tag. So to create a tag or a label, I keep saying tag because that's really more what people use. You can, let's go back into my inbox. So so all of these are ones that came through from my students from their summer thing. And if I wanted to, I don't have labels on these because I actually do delete these, because all these are records of lessons that I assigned that have responses to them. So if I click to open this one and I wanted to, alright, so you see already it's got the inbox label. If I wanted to add more up here, label or tags, same difference. This is where I would go to click it. So I can label it in any of these things that I want. And once again, some of these are automatic that Google puts in here, and some of these are you know, ones that you would do. So I would probably label this as an orientation, because that's what it is, and then say apply. So now it's got the two labels. Now on the label to manage labels is another place where you could go. I'm going to take this off of there for now. If you go to manage labels down at the bottom here, wait, where is it? I just saw it a second ago. All right, click away, labels, manage labels. If you want to, this will show you all the labels that you have, and this is where you can let's see, I'm not looking at the whole page here. You can either show, or you can have labels that you don't even look at. You can hide them if you want. Yeah, this isn't a great page. Create new labels. How do you put the color? You add colors on. I'm trying to see how you put the colors. All right, don't worry. I'm rambling and I'm going to stop. Okay, let's go back in here. Okay, I think that's enough about the labels. I think you got that at least for now. To apply labels to more than one thing, let's say I wanted to take all of these and apply a label. In this view, you can use these boxes to do actually not just labels, but you can do all kinds of operations to more than one email at a time by checking these boxes. You can archive them, which is, an archive doesn't really mean you can't get them. It just means take them out, take the inbox tag off. So they'll be in all mail, they just won't be in your inbox. So you could do that, and they would all be in your inbox, in your all mail. And if you wanted to see them all, once again, you could go to more, you could click on all mail even after you archive. So I always just hit this archive button as soon as I'm finished with anything in my inbox. Like once I take care of something, and I'm not gonna, although I want to keep the email, if it's not something I have to reply to or do, I archive it right away, because then I can always go back and find it that way. This is reporting spam. I don't really know what happens, but if you get spam that comes in your inbox, you can check and do that. All right, obviously this is delete, you know about that. This move to, oh, this is the same thing. It's not really move to, but it's just the same thing with the tags. I think when you do the move to, it takes it out of your inbox. You can tag it, and then it comes out of your inbox. That's kind of weird, because here's the label, and this just labels it but doesn't move it out of your inbox. Okay, and then other things you can do with them, you can mark them as read, as unread. I'm going to mark them all as read because I unread that one. So you can mark them as important. Yeah, all these kind. This is that filter. You can come up with a filter. I have no idea what mute means. Okay, and then so to check them or uncheck all of them, you'd have this button up here. Let's see, this button here. This was we talked about touch enabled. Touch enabled spaces things out, so you can, if you're using it on a tablet. Comfortable, cozy, compact. This is just shows you different ways to see your stuff. See, that's not what I want. I like the touch enable. I like it as big as I can get it. What else? I guess so. These are just other settings and things. Themes, that's fun. I have like an ocean theme on mine. You can change the themes and do stuff. So that's this part of the interface. Let's see what else you got here. Okay, so this part we talked about also. Anybody with a green dot, I actually have a system. The reason that these are numbers is because these are telephone numbers, and I can actually text or you know, message people phones from here, which is a whole nother different plugin. But generally speaking, you're going to see people's names, and those are the people. If it's a green dot, it means that they're online. It's 7:30 in the morning. Not too many people are online at you know, Saturday morning. But if they are, you can click on there, and then you can send them a little message. We played with that, and just that, those are just regular messages. And then there's the video. See, I have a video camera. You can actually video chat too. We did that, and we made a lot of noise and made a mess, but we probably won't do much of that. Maybe I'll video chat you or text you sometime when you're on and I see your name pop up. Okay, what else? What else? Nested tags I talked about. Profile. Oh, my little picture here. You can always put your profile picture on if you want to. If you click up here and you go View Profile. Well, I didn't even have to do that. I could have changed my picture. You can change your picture just by clicking up there and then search for a picture. So let's see. I don't know. These are pictures of other people. That's my sister. Okay, anyhow, so that's that. Let me go back to my mail. Okay, the next thing we talked about was moving files around. And you know, you can have as many reviews as this as you need, because it's really, until, I mean, it takes a while to really get the whole thing. Anyhow, so this is my desktop. I'm using Windows 8, so things are going to look a little different on mine than yours as far as where I go for stuff. But so you had a file on your desktop, then you wanted to move it into your documents. So remember that all your desktop is a folder anyway. Everything is a folder. So the desktop itself is a folder. I've got folders on, well, these are shortcuts to folders that are on my desktop. So for instance, if I click on this in here, now I've got documents. There's documents inside the folder. You're used to that view. But think of this as an open, the same kind of thing. It's just an open folder. Okay, so when you had two folders and you were going to move documents from one to the other, what you do is you need to see the document icon. So like this is actually a document. You wouldn't open this, you would, because it's in the folder already, if that makes sense. So if you did it with two folders, if I had this folder open, let's say, come here, open this folder. If I have this folder open and I move it out of my way, and then maybe I open another folder, and I have it out of my way over here, remember how you can pop these against the side to make them, and you know very easily that you can take one and just move it to the other. So that's the easiest way if you have two folders open. If you double click on a folder and it's within a window, it's going to replace what's in the window with what's in the folder. So if I take this folder and I double click to open it, now the contents of what was in that folder is in this window, if that makes sense. So I can always go back by hitting the back button. I think yours might be up higher. And you get back to this view. But if I wanted to see this folder open in addition to, and not close the folder underneath it, I would have to right click on it and say open in new window. Now I get this third window. So this window is the contents of this folder here. All right, so that's a way you have, I mean, once you like really get that, moving stuff around makes so much sense, because if you totally understand that that's all you're doing, if you, like I said, if you double click in a window, it gets replaced with that content. Actually, there's a bunch of ways to get back. This is the breadcrumb. You could go back that way, or you could have used this button here. All right, so now if you were moving something from your desktop, I'm going to close this one. The desktop itself is an open folder. All you have to do is open the folder that you want, where you actually want it to go to. In this case, I don't have any other folder with folders within the folders. These are all documents. But you would just drag it into that folder and let go. I'm not going to do that on my thing. So the folder thing, really, once you get it and understand it, it will just make everything make much more sense. These guys down the side, these represent favorite places, but it's not really a hierarchy. These ones are really the hierarchy of the folder. Like it starts with computer. Your computer is the biggest folder. And then within there, generally you would go to your C drive. From there, you'd have to understand how this works. Users, and then B. Adams, that happens to be the right user here. These are all folders within folders within folders within folders. Here's the desktop. See, it's nothing but a folder. And if you open it in this view, you can see these are all the same things. This is that document I moved around. This is the first video that I did. So these are just things that are on my desktop. So these are, the desktop itself is a folder. These are files. So you either have files or you have files within a folder. And oh, I know what else we talked about. Let's see if I go up here. We talked about how folders are always grouped together and documents always grouped together. I don't know why exactly that is, but it is. So for instance, if you click on name is going to sort your things in alphabetical order, but it's not going to mix files and folders. It's still going to keep all the folders are in alphabetical order, all the files are in alphabetical order. Let's see if I can find another one that's got more stuff in it. How about this one? Well, these are all documents, so that doesn't really help you. No, the other one, that was better. Software hard. Is that folders? Nope. Okay. I was better where I was before. Yep. So I can, if I toggle them, see, they're alphabetical now, starting with the lower, you know, with A through whatever. If I go in the other direction, it's the other way, but the folders are all still together. So when you've got a ton, like you were looking through before, of all your stuff, you may not see the folders. They're either at the top or the bottom. That's why I said that. They're either at the top or the bottom. Now, the view that this is in is that detail view. If you go to, All right, view. Okay, once again, this is Windows 8. It's different than yours, but the same idea of this view extra where your control is. There's large icons, medium icons, list view, large. Details. I almost always work in details unless I'm looking at pictures. If I'm in pictures, I'm usually using large icons, but everything else, especially if you lose something, even pictures, if you go to details, that's where you get the view where you can sort by date modified. So if you lose something and you know you just worked on it, if you click date modified, the more recent one is going to come to the top or the bottom. It's a toggle. But remember, even in this view, the folders are together and the documents are together. So that's, let's see. Okay, what else? Did I have something else I needed to cover with you? Okay, folder sort and view. They don't mix. Rename a folder. Rename a file. Okay, you know how to, I'm pretty sure you know how to rename a folder and a file. To rename, once again, you have to be in this kind of a view or the desktop, which is exactly the same view, and you need to right click, and that's where you go to rename either a document or a folder. So that's easy. I don't remember that we had a problem with that. Okay, I think that's a good review of files and folders, and hopefully this gave you a little bit. I know, like I said, I rambled. I have a horrible habit of doing that. I'm really sorry. So that's it, and we will see you soon.